Whoa, people in your 20s, where are you? Parade here. Anyway, if you are in your 20s, count yourself the luckiest person because one, you're energetic, two, you're growing, three, you still have time, four, oh, the list is endless. Well, if you're still in your 20s, you're like one of the luckiest people, and this is why. Because you have the time to learn, you have the time to relearn, to unlearn, and keep improving your skills. But guess what? I don't know how time flies by and then the 30s are already knocking. Now here I'm wondering, what are we going to do in our 30s? But well, in this video, I bring to you a list of things that you need to do before you clock 30. Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel, and my name hasn't changed, Jillian Wasimire Katumba. It's a pleasure and honor to be here sharing with you. Please remember to subscribe to my channel, remember to like and comment. I'll appreciate that. So number one that you need to do before you clock 30. By the way, before I proceed, I am not putting you at loggerheads. Like, I'm not saying do this as a must, you're running out of time. No, we still have time. I know I'm getting to 30, but I mean, I still have some time to do these things, yeah? So whether you're 28, whether you're 20, or you're what, it's okay. We still have time to do these things. So just let's have the list and then work on it gradually. Okay, so number one, like I said, number one on my list is remember to save and invest. And you know, it sounds quite intimidating if I tell you to save and then you're like, save what? I haven't even gotten what to do. I know you people, 20s are also a kind of like a time to figure things out. So actually most of us are still trying to figure things out. We don't have big incomes, we don't have jobs, we don't have businesses, but we are trying to figure things out. Now the little that you have, please try to save the little that you have. Part of the little that you have, save the little of that. Because when you start saving now, imagine when you're 60, and I'm not saying save for vacation, I'm saying save for retirement. Julie, are you saving for retirement? Yes, I am. Very little, by the very little, but I know I'm putting it aside for my retirement time, God willing, if I get there. So save as much as you can right now, even if it's just like a 10K, you guys. By the time you're 60, if you multiply, the zeros will have extended a bit. So as little as it is, start now before you even get to your 30s. Because after 30s, we are now looking to up to 40s, 50s. You know, before we know it, we are retired generals. Yeah, so save, save, save. Well, look, I can't talk about saving and not talk about investing. If you're lucky enough and you already have some good money on you, please remember to invest. And there is so many things you can invest. Read more about investment. Try, in case you can't even imagine where to start from, you can talk to a financial advisor or maybe go to YouTube. There is so much information these days everywhere on the internet. Find out what things can I invest in that are going to create more income for me, to generate more income for me. So before your 30s, invest and save as much as you can, even if it's as little as 1,000 shillings. Then another thing that you need to do before you get to your 30s is to forgive yourself. I actually needed to start with this. You need to forgive yourself. I need to forgive myself too for all the mistakes. You guys, in life, in our 20s most especially, we make big mistakes. Big money mistakes, big relationship mistakes, big family mistakes, very big mistakes. And sometimes we are unable to even forgive ourselves. Like, you forgive everyone else, but it's hard to forgive yourself. Like, how could I? Like, how could I have done such a thing? But now forgive yourself for having done that big mistake, learn from it, and then put your foot forward and move forward. Because beating yourself up will not change a thing. You did it, and yes, it is what it is. But you can forgive yourself and start all over again as a bigger and better person. Another thing that you can do before you're 30 is to start a side hustle. If you are in the corporate world, like you already have a job, please don't entirely depend on that job. If you have a business, you're self-employed, do not entirely depend on that one business. You know, even in the Bible, God mentions about 7 streams of income. It's for a reason. He clearly knows too that one source of income can't be sustainable, especially in this demanding world where every little thing needs money. So before you're 30, it's only important you started a side hustle, and you don't need to like start a big business or what or as a side hustle. No, you can just make your hobby a side hustle. If you love to maybe swim or soccer, those things, you can be a soccer coach, you can be a swim coach in your free time. You earn some little money out of that. There are people who just love anything to do with cars. Like you tell them cars and they just like, feel the butterflies. If you're that kind of person, you can start a side hustle of, dealing in cars, selling cars, or maybe teaching how to drive, teaching people how to drive. Like always find that something else aside to create some income, because that is going to add onto the little or big finances that you already have. Another thing that you need to try before you clock 30 is to live alone. I know as we're growing, we're living with our parents, our guardians, and then for some reason at campus, we get to stay with roommates. Then even after campus, you probably stay, I don't know, with someone else. Now, before you clock 30, it's only important for you to stay alone. Why? Because you get to learn about you. You get to discover yourself more. You get to learn what you like, what you don't like, and that can only be done when you're alone. You know, when you're with people, you kind of get lost in the mob. You think, oh, all my friends love soccer, I love soccer. All my friends love maybe to I don't know, to travel. I also love to travel. Yet actually, if you were alone, you would discover more about yourself, what you like, what you don't like, what you dream to be, what you can't do, what you can do. So it's important to live alone at some point before you clock 30. And anyway, even if you're already in your 30s and maybe you haven't gotten your life partner, it's okay. First, stay alone, discover yourself, rediscover yourself, and that will just be good enough for you. But today's video, I'm talking about people in their 20s. Another thing that you need to do before you clock 30 is to get a qualification. And please don't feel intimidated in any way if you haven't gotten any qualification, like you haven't been to school or what. But this is not too late for you. I know for different challenges, maybe after S4 or S6, you weren't able to proceed, to college or something. But before you clock 30, please, it's only good for you if you got a qualification. It does not necessarily have to be a degree. You can get a certificate in something. You can get a diploma in something, yeah? Just get a qualification because you'll need it. You'll need it. You guys, wetulaga there. Papers are going to be very much needed. At any time, like you're bidding, you have a company you're bidding, you need something, they're like, your papers in the, so please get a qualification, at least have a paper. Something funny I've remembered. There is a family I know, their dad said to marry in that family or get married in that family, you must present your academic documents. Now imagine you don't have any academic documents. After S4 or S6. Mama, Bambi, please get qualified, get something. Yeah. Before you get 30, another thing you need to do is to conquer a fear. We grow up with all these many fears. Like, I fear to be in people. I fear to be in front of people. I fear animals. I fear marriage. I fear men. I fear girls. Like, there are fears that we have in our teens and in our 20s. But now, before you get to your 30s, please, get some of those fears and conquer them. Like, make it a point, like, every year I'm going to conquer a fear. If I've been fearing to make decisions, but how are you going to live without making decisions? Like, every single day you are making decisions. So if you're the kind that fears decisions, I wonder how your 30s and 40s are going to, because, it entirely depends on the decisions you make. So if you fear such a thing, please conquer that fear. You guys, 30s, I am not yet there, but I know 30s also, they need younger. You are strong and, able to, plan even for your 40s and 50s. So if you make mistakes and make bad decisions in your 20s and you're still scared to take some bold steps in your 20s, chances are 30s may not be as simple for you. Then something else you need to do in your 30s is to think about your medical care and your lifestyle. Yeah? Now, we in our 20s, of course, sometimes we just don't mind whether I fall sick or not, but it's time for us to actually think about our lifestyles, our health. Most people you look at when they are in their 60s and these guys look so fresh and younger. You're like, like how did they do it? Now, most probably those guys invented their good and healthy lifestyles when they were younger, in their 20s, in their 30s. So the better you plan to start your lifestyle now, a good lifestyle, a good health lifestyle now, the better for you in your 30s and ahead. And talking about lifestyle, before you clock 30, it's only prudent that you dropped also bad habits. You guys, there are bad habits like lying, smoking, alcoholism, excessive drinking, and all those, like, think about the bad habits, bad sleeping habits, waking up late, all those things. Those are habits we can't carry to our 30s. So before we clock 30, it's only important that we actually drop these bad habits and develop other good habits that will take us to greater heights and make us better people. There is this book of, I can't remember the author, but it's Atomic Habits. Yeah, Atomic Habits. That book talks about making tiny little changes in your life that bring excellent results, like big results. Now, let's aim at, making these small changes in our lives, changing from bad habits to good habits, and then we shall get excellent results. Then another thing you can do before you clock 30 is to set financial goals. That I already talked about somehow. Set your financial goals. In 5 years, I want to be here. In 10 years, I want to be here or earn this much. And you can plan it and then work towards it and you will achieve it. Don't just live life for, before you know it, you're 30, no goals. You clock 40, no goals. You're just there. Really? No, let's have financial goals, financial plans, and work towards them to achieve those goals. And then something else you need to do before you are 30 is to know about your family background, family history, and most importantly, get closer to your family. You know how we be very busy with ourselves at school and everything when we are 20, but you're going to get to your 30s. You don't even know where your grandparents were. You don't even know where they originated from. You don't even know what clan you are. Okay, now for instance, pause a bit. What clan are you? You need to know these details, because then what are you going to pass on to your next generation? If your kids ask you, Mommy, where did our grandparents come from? And all that's a little information that is really vital. So you need to use this time also before your 30s to get to know about your family and get closer to it. Spend more time with your families. Yes. Another thing that we need to do before we get to our 30s is to stop holding grudges. Oh my God, I know we made friends when we were 10, when we were 20 and all that, and now we're getting to 30, but along the way we get friends who piss us off or we piss them off, and somehow we part ways and we're not together. But please, get your heart free from those grudges, because only a clean heart gets blessed. Only a forgiving heart gets forgiven. So let's forgive these people. Let's not hold grudges. Even if you ever meet them again, it's kawa, like, let life move on. But otherwise, if you keep holding grudges, that is going to deter your progress and everything. So keep away from grudges. And then, I don't know, please comment in the section, like I asked, what do you think you need to have achieved by 30? Or if you're past 30, please advise us. What should we know before we get to 30? We want to live our 30s much better than we actually expect to. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't done so, and see you in my next videos. Bye.